November 28th, 1864. Screams of women and children are all that I can hear. As I am running to save my wife, bullets whiz past me. It is a terrible sight. My men, children, and women are being slaughtered. Later, I find out that 150 unarmed Cheyennes were killed. This event is known as the Sand Creek Massacre. Such a horrendous act would have to have had a reason behind it, and it does. Yet a question presents itself. Should the relations that were previously built suggest justification? To find out, we need to start at the beginning. 1700s, the Cheyennes, a skilled war culture, moved from South Dakota to Arkansas and made allies with the Sioux. While following herds, some of our tribes found themselves in Colorado. These tribes stayed. More recently, Yellow Wolf, a Cheyenne chief, started a trading center with the Bent brothers at Fort Jackson. This strengthened our relationship with the whites. In 1851, Chiefs White Antelope and Light on a Cloud met with President Fillmore in Washington, D.C. 12 years later, War Bonnet, Stand in the Water, and Lean Bear met with Abraham Lincoln. He gave all of them peace medals, signifying that they were friends with the president and that they are not a threat. When Lean Bear was returning home, a group of white men ambushed him. Quickly, he pulled out his medal, but still was gunned down. This could have been fueled by the whites' fear of us. Just a year earlier, the Minnesota Massacre occurred, in which over 600 whites were murdered by the Sioux, our ally. Enraged by this, we began raiding the whites. Tensions kept building. In 1864, Governor Evans announced a request that Cheyenne chiefs would come to white forts to make peace. I, Black Kettle, at age 61, followed this request and met with Major Winecoop at Fort Lyon. Soon after, White Antelope, Bull Bear, and I met with Governor Evans and Colonel Shivington in Denver. Shivington was the head of the 3rd Colorado Regiment, of which was made purely to hunt down us Indians. The meeting didn't start too well. We both wanted peace, it seemed, as if neither side could agree upon on how we would go about it. Evans mocked us, saying that we had the advantage in the summer, yet he has it in winter. His time was coming, he threatened. I responded, "All we ask is that we may have peace with the whites. You are our father. We have been traveling through a cloud. The sky has been dark ever since the war started." Shivington had chimed in, saying, his only goal in a fight is to have his opponents lie down their weapons and submit to military authority. I took this to heart and took my people to Fort Lyon. I planned on camping outside the fort, living in harmony with the whites. To my surprise, Winecoop had been relieved being too nice to my people. I was greeted with Major Anthony, whom commanded me to camp 40 miles away, near the Big Sandy, or as you know it, Sand Creek. I did as I was told. After I'd made settled, Shivington marched to our encampment. Once there, his men dismounted their steeds and walked into our village. Some Indians went to greet the whites and were greeted with lead. Panic, confusion, and fear spread like a wildfire amongst our people. Very few of my men resisted, while most ran away. The bunch that ran to the creek were surrounded. Families clutched to each other as the rain of bullets came down upon them. 150 were murdered. Submit to military authority? This was slaughter. Because of this event, President Lincoln removed Evans from office, and Shivington dropped out of the military. As for me, I survived the event with my wife, but I will never forget what they did. Come to think of it, neither would Evans or Shivington. Now, Cheyennes and whites together were appalled at the deed. It was titled the Sand Creek Massacre by most, yet some disagreed. They say that it was a battle, They say that our people deserved this atrocity. They say that we are now even. I say otherwise. All we wanted was peace. We followed their instructions, but they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. This was a massacre, and it will have consequences.